From the rising of the sun to the setting of the same, I will praise His holy name. From the rising of the sun to the setting of the same, I will praise His name. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Think about this. The world is in darkness. Isaiah said, the darkness covers the earth and deep darkness the people. But the Lord will rise upon you and His glory will appear upon you. Isaiah 60 verse 2. And it says He reveals mysteries from the darkness and brings the deep darkness into light. Job 12. Okay? So it would seem like an easy time to despair sometimes because the world is in such terrible shape. And the simple fact of the matter is, and you may not like this, but the church is in very bad shape. It truly, truly is. And yet we are supposed to be a reflection of Jesus Christ, who is the light of the world. Right? Two things about the world's darkness. When it's night, the sun is hidden from sight. Jesus said work while it's still day, right?
Right.
The Lord made provision to provide light in the night through the moon. Now the moon is just a big ball of rock up in the sky. It has no light of its own whatsoever. It just reflects the light of the sun. In the same fashion, in the darkness of the world, we are supposed to reflect the light of Jesus Christ into the darkness of this world. John said in 1 John chapter 2, the one who says he is the light and yet hates his brother is in the darkness until now. The one who loves his brother abides in the light and there is no cause for stumbling in him. But the one who hates his brother is in the darkness and walks in the darkness and does not know where he is going because the darkness has blinded his eyes. This is John who heard Jesus say, I am the light of the world. And think about this. This is why it's so important what Jesus taught in the Sermon on the Mount. If you're going to come and bring your offering to God, and you have something against your brother, or you know that your brother has something against you, so before you bring that offering, go get that resolved. Because if you have those issues, and there is enmity, hatred, or this dispute, this division between you and brothers, the Word of God says, you're in darkness. You are in that darkness. And yet you're supposed to be the one bringing the light. Okay.
I have a note in there, and John is that men love the darkness because sin makes them want to hide.
Exactly. And sin makes you want to hide. Mm-hmm. It says in Isaiah that sin separates us from our God.
That's right.
And that's not because God left us, because it says He will never leave us nor forsake us, because we leave Him. Mm-hmm. When you are in unrepentant sin, you're going to be like a little sick puppy dog and crawl away and hide in the dark, right?
God didn't leave Adam. Adam left God.
Let's just talk about the light of just again for a minute, and in relationship to division. Okay, I'm not a scientist by any means, and don't get scientific.
You don't make this fun.
Okay. But if you think about light, two things I learned in high school, right? There is a prism. And you shine light into a prism, it divides the light. Okay? Take a laser. Now a laser focuses light. It brings light waves together, puts them in sync, puts them in harmony, right? And a laser beam can cut through metal. When light is divided, it has no power. But that's what the church does. I mean, so often the light of God comes into us, and we just let it go out in every different direction, separating us.
Yeah.
Our relationship with Him is not only in word, but in power.
Yes.
And the laser is the one that has the power because of that harmony, because of that unity.
So when the body's unified, there's power.
Well, like I said, it can cut through metal. It's used in surgery because of its absolute accuracy. Bringing to mind, right? They use it more and more and more. Lasers are used in surgery today.
Yes.
Think about this. For the Word of God is living and active and sharper than any two-edged sword. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know if they had scalpels back in that day, but the Word of God is sharper than a scalpel, and piercing as far as the division of the soul and spirit of both joints and marrow, and able to judge the thoughts and intention of the heart. Hebrews 4:12.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found, was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fear